Randall Hughes with GodGlorified.com, commenting on our Bible reading for today for April the 30th. And we read Samuel chapters 3, 4 and parts of 5, and Chronicles 11. And this was with the making of David king, the transition of the kingdom from Ishbosheth after the 7 years of Ishbosheth's reign. So it all started with Abner being accused by Ishbosheth, and that was what sent the kingdom away from Ishbosheth, because he accused Abner of sleeping with a concubine of Saul. And it's uncertain. I know that oftentimes, and we saw it happen with Absalom when he tried to overthrow David's kingdom, or we will see it when we get to that point, that the conquering king, the one overthrowing the previous king, would take all of the wives and or concubines, and they would become his. And so whether that happened with Ishbosheth taking his father's, we do not know exactly how that all would have played out, but it's clearly was something that Abner took offense to. I don't know if it obviously must not have been true, but it weakened the hand of Ishbosheth and caused Abner then to turn to David. And then the murder of Abner, he was in Hebron, which was one of the cities of refuge, and yet Joab got him into the gate to discuss. And no doubt Abner was thinking this had something to do with the transfer of the kingdom that he had just talked to David about. And Abner deceived him basically, or Joab deceived Abner and took Abner's life. And it was clear, once again, multiple times we see it played out. David did not hate his enemies. If anybody lived the role of loving your enemies, it seems that David did, and did not take joy or rejoice in the fall of those that were seeking his life, that would have gladly taken his life in a heartbeat. So with Ishbosheth, with Abner, with Saul, we see it repeated time and time again, where David rewarded those who thought they would be rewarded. He rewarded them with death because they had taken the life of someone that was either anointed of God, or that was a righteous man, or certainly innocent, and did not deserve to die. And so David said that Abner died like a fool. And it was very clear to all the Israel that it was not in the king's heart to slay Abner. And it was because of that, large in part, that we'll see what happens when the kingdom transfers after David. What happens to Joab. And so David is finally made king 7.5 years after the death of Saul. And he's finally made the king in Hebron. So that was the main thing. We learned that David had, I believe it was 6 wives. Is that correct? That had children. There was, I believe each one of the sons named were from a different mother. Ahinoam, Abigail, Maacah, and Haggith, and Shephatiah, or Shephatiah was the son of Abital, and then Eglah were all David's wives that were born and had children in Hebron. I believe he actually will have a couple more before the story's all over. But at any rate, I think that's going to conclude our reading for today, and hope that you're being blessed by God's word in Jesus' name.